Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
On Monday morning, I took a drive through the downtown of Morden and noticed several banners that were hanging from the lampposts all along Stephen Street. And on each banner, written across the bottom, was "Lest we forget." And also on each banner was the picture of someone from our town who was either serving or who had served in the armed forces for our country. And I had this sense of pride well up inside of me, and for a few reasons. One is that I am proud and grateful for those and to those whom served and who are serving. The world is a wonderful place, and also a volatile place too. And having peacekeepers who have it in their heart to serve and protect others who are perhaps unable to protect themselves, by guarding the very virtues and morals that value human life, give to me a sense of security and assurance. And so I give to these soldiers, these peacekeepers, my utmost respect. I'm humbled by them because they have made for themselves a life that is based and founded on a biblical principle that was declared by Jesus of what love actually is. When he said in John 15:13, "There is no greater love than to lay one's life down for one's friends." And I'm also proud of our community, for those in leadership who deemed it important to acknowledge our veterans from the past and present by hanging those banners along Stephen Street, to remember and to give them honor and recognition. And I was also moved by the overall upkeep of Centennial Park, which commemorates all those who lived out John 15:13 in laying down their lives for others. It's important to remember our past and from where we came from. There is a lot of fighting that goes on in the world over a lot of different things, and so much fighting is done over defending and preserving personal rights as they relate to freedom of expression, equality, and personal choices. But as Canadian citizens, there's a call placed on each of us, the call to remember with honor and with deep respect those who stood in the gap between us and all that sought to threaten and extinguish the very freedoms that we cherish and cling to. We owe homage to all those who have stood in the gap and who currently stand in the gap for us. Freedom does come with a cost. So whatever your worldview or personal philosophy is, every one of us who call Canada home and who love this country deeply must remember and never forget that we are the recipients of a freedom that had been fought for and is constantly being defended. So people dare not judge, nor take it for granted. We must remember and never forget. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, we are told to remember the Lord's death until he comes to get us. Participating in the act of remembering this actual historical event help make and keep it real to us. The bread and wine are real. We can see, taste, touch, and smell them. This is important because we are prone to forget things. That's why the Lord wants us to practice the Lord's Supper, communion, do it regularly, in remembrance of him. Now similarly, my involvement with Remembrance Day gives me a sense of participation in something real and historical. It gives me a moment to pause and reflect over what is important. And while I'm not in the armed forces, I still have a role in this country and in this world to love and respect those around me. And together, we do our part in being the change that we want to see in the world. For me, it isn't just about vets and wars. It's also about remembering that we are here for a time, and then we will all be gone. Our days are allotted by our Creator, and how we spend our time here on this little blue dot called the earth matters. We must look to our Creator and acknowledge that life is a gift that becomes infinitely more wonderful when we embrace it with gratitude and thanks to the God who loves us. Embracing the love of God as it has been given to us, by loving others in a way that is demonstrated through treating one another as we would like to be treated. May God bless you on this day. And if you haven't yet, go out and buy a poppy and put it on. Take up your call to remember, lest we forget.
He was just 18, so strong and brave. When he went off to war, our world he would save. For 2 years in the snow, mud, and rain, he fought for us all through the fear and pain. Watched his best friends die, never questioning why. Back home, where his mom and his dad spent 2 years alone, scared and sad. Till that day, a knock on the door, their world was changed. She fell to the floor. War hurts us all, not just the soldiers that fall. We owe them so much more than just a moment each year. Brothers, fathers, and sons, now remembered through tears. Families torn apart, lives were never the same. Forever etched in walls, we read their hallowed names. This Remembrance Day, said goodbye to her friends. Overseas she went, not on the front lines, but a medical tent. Helped all that came, did all that she could. Came home with more scars than anyone should. Never fired a gun, but her world was undone. Just 24, a husband and dad, his beautiful wife, now broken and sad. How you tell his son he ain't coming back home? He's a hero, they say, but they're all alone. War hurts us all, not just the soldiers that fall. We owe them so much more than just a moment each year. Brothers, sisters, and sons, now remembered through tears. Families torn apart, lives were never the same. Forever etched in walls, we read their hallowed names. This Remembrance Day, it was so long ago, it's almost hard to care about the men and the women who served over there. But their families live on, and to them we can say, we will never forget your losses and all that you gave. This Remembrance Day.